Yay! There we go. All right. So today I'm going to be doing a fun little thing. I was thinking, who are the active record holders in on the Supercars grid? Because I was just looking at who's the most experienced guy in the field, who's the most successful guy in the field. I think it might be Chaz Mostert, but I'm not sure. So it's sort of just a fun little thing I thought I could do. Because Reynolds and Courtney aren't the most successful guys in the field, surely. How many wins has Courtney got? Probably not a lot. Not as many as. How do I find it? Not as many as Will Brown or. I mean, not as many as Brock Feeney, at least. I don't think. Alright. Go find my information. Where is it? It's like the greatest of all time, all the time. I think that's what it's called. There we go. And I'll show that for a second. So, greatest of all time, all the time. I think it goes up to 2024. And so in terms of active drivers, no Wingcup, no Lowndes, no Scaife, Fingers, Bergen, Tandem, McLaughlin, Brock, Seaton, Winterbottom, or Moffat, they're all gone. So the highest in terms of number of wins is Chaz Mostert with 24 there. Where's Brock Feeney at the end of 2024? He's got 12. But you got Will Davison, who's got 21 wins. Courtney's got 15. But I think you've got this season, Brock Feeney has probably racked up. How many wins has he got? 6 wins this year? I reckon he has. I reckon Brock Feeney has racked up some kind of crazy number. Okay, that's a lot more wins than I thought he had. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, so that's 12 wins this season for Brock Feeney, which puts him up level with Chaz Mostert at the moment. Except Chaz got a win, didn't he? I think Chaz got another win. Yeah, so he's just less than Chaz, one less than Chaz. Cam Waters got 3 at the start of the year. Will Brown's got 2. Matt Payne has got 3, but he's well down the order. So in terms of active numbers, Mostert's got 25, Brock Feeney's got 24. Waters has got 18. Will Brown's got 12. I think that's as good as it gets. You have to go way down to find Matt Payne. He's got 2 at the end of 2024, but then he's racked up another 3, so it's 5, so it puts him up level with Alan Jones, which is funny. Makes me wonder, did he actually only have 5 wins? I think Alan Jones got 1 or 2 in 93 or 94, something like that. Didn't actually win race his own team. So, yeah. So in terms of who's the most successful driver in the Supercars field at the moment, just in terms of race wins alone, it's Chaz Mostert on 25, then Brock Feeney, and then Cam Waters with 18. That's the top 3 most successful drivers in the Supercars field. James Courtney, wherever he is, he's got 15 as well, but he's been overtaken. He's just been driving in inferior machinery for too long and hasn't managed to get enough out of it. And then I think, hang on, no. Will Davison is 3rd with 21, but he hasn't won a race in quite a few years, so he's not doing very well in that department. and he might see the end of his career this year as well. My microphone is slightly above me. Yeah, Will Davison, I don't think he's managed to have one good weekend yet, which is not a good look because, well, actually, he had Taupo, and that was his best weekend. And then I can look at my other numbers, and we'll see that he just has not managed to put it together at all. What was my thing called? Ups and downs. 2025 driver ups and downs, which I'm not sure if I finished updating. I did actually. I'll show off the new lines because ups and downs there. So I think round 8 is QR. And Feeney pulled away. There were some changes in the championship that I thought were interesting. First of all, Kai Allen had another really strong round, and he's really closed the gaps. Closed the gaps to who's hang on, is Heimgartner what 8th in the championship? So he's pretty much a shot dark at this point. But he's heading into the Enduros, so he could pull something out of his ass and have a good result. Here we go. Yeah, so Heimgartner's 8th in the championship, but it's really close. It's, what's that, 20 points, less than 20 points? 21 points between Randall and Heimgartner. And so, yeah, they have to have a clean weekend, and neither of those guys, apart from Ryan Wood, would be likely to have a good weekend. If it was a sprint weekend anyway, but because it's the Enduros, it's going to be different. You have to have no one making mistakes. You have to have a fast car. You have to have no one crashing into you. That's a likely thing to happen as well. Pretty much everyone's going to have to be being pretty careful if they want to stay in for the finals. The ones who are going to be doing whatever they can are the guys down the bottom of the championship. And I need to change what I'm showing. Mozilla Firefox. Yeah, these guys. So you got Cam Hill. He'd probably want to have a pretty good tail and bend and Bathurst. I'm going to go to tail and bend actually. I'm going to go on the Sunday, and yeah, it should be an exciting time. There'll be lots going on and lots to look forward to. And it'll be a long day as well because it's going to be an enduro, and I don't think I've ever seen one race that's that long. So, and Tail and Bend is one of those tracks where if you don't get the car close in the window in terms of being up the front in terms of pace, you're going to be in for a really long day of battling for scraps. If you are up the front, you're going to be on for a pretty exciting day. But I think Tail and Bend is one of those tracks where it punishes you for not having a good car because there's just so many corners and you need to have the car a lot closer for it. I think somewhere like Bathurst is a bit more, everyone knows you can either be really good in the straights or really good across the top, and that's pretty much where you're balancing the car. So, which pretty much means your wing setup, I guess. The way you've got that sort of thing set up for across the top or going up and down. What we got? So forwards there in 14th. He didn't have a great round at QR. And we're looking at Kai Allen because he jumped up a bunch of spots. So I'm going to show that again. Yep. Show Kai Allen, wherever at 25 ups and down. So, yeah, he's basically right on the back of Heimgartner and Randall and Ryan Wood because Ryan Wood did not have the best time last time out. The mistake some of the way he was driving was not helping his cause. And he just really didn't need to be doing some of it. I'll be able to go into, yeah, I haven't written down any of my details, so I'd have to go through my actual notes. I might spend some of this time writing down my notes, but we'll see. We'll see what I feel like doing. I've got like a bunch of things that I want to do. It's always like within the hour before I start streaming, I suddenly have the idea of what I want to do. But yeah, who was that? Reynolds? No, it's Richie. Is that Richie? Yeah, in the cream car. So Richie actually had a pretty good weekend, which is really nice to see. And we can find him here because what I've got going on. Oh, what am I showing here? I am showing this good. This one. Down the bottom here, I've got the actual who was first, second, and third, and so on for the actual round at Queensland. So Brock Feeney was first, Kai Allen second, and Cam Waters third. Surprisingly, because he just, I think that last race scores gives you quite a bit of points, but not as many as you'd think. I think Brock Feeney got 140 points for winning that third race at Queensland, whereas you get 85 points for winning the first and second ones. So you definitely need to have a solid third race, but also the points gaps are big. So if you don't finish up the top 5, then it's not quite enough. We can see like Will Brown didn't have a great one in that last one because he got spun around by Ryan Wood. So that's, and it says third down to 16th. Supercars hasn't bothered to update their website on the actual race results because I'm pretty sure that he got a penalty for the spinning wheels in the pits, and so that's dropped him to 23rd. But they just haven't updated to the website on that, and it's been a week, so I don't know what's going on there. They just take forever with that. Anton De Pasquale had a pretty solid weekend, but 8th doesn't give you quite enough points to put you further up. So pretty much you got everybody in the top 4 of the round was top 5 in that last race. And everybody else, Brody Kostecki, because he had a really bad second race because he got caught up in the carnage in the second one, he didn't get quite enough points, but he did actually do quite well in that third race. Ryan Wood should have been, Jesus Christ, should have been top 3 in the round, but because he dropped to 22nd for spinning Will Brown, he dropped way down to 22nd. And Richie Stanaway just had a nice solid weekend. He was racing up the front, racing in the upper mid pack all weekend. It was pretty good. So yeah, for him it was a good time, and that made him 10th in the round, which I think that's his equal best round with Tassie, but not as many points as he got at Tassie, despite coming 11th, 22nd, and 5th. So your top 5 in that last race scores you a lot of points, but not every sprint round scores you the exact same number of points. It's a bit weird like that. I think I'd have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. We have because Wikipedia's got it all worked out here. I'll show Wikipedia. Yeah. So we got so all the Super 440. So Tassie and QR did both have the same points. So the first and second races are 80 points for the win, and the last race is 140 points. Then I think the last round here at Adelaide, you get 50 points for the Friday race, and they've recently announced how much money are they putting up for it? I can't remember, but they're putting up some good money for the win. I want to look at that. I cannot remember for the life of me what the money was. And Craig Lowndes going to Team 18. I forgot about that. It's there's other things going on. It's like, yay, he's going to be driving mid-pack for 2 years at Bathurst. Where is it? $50,000 to win the Friday race at Adelaide. So, yeah, there you go. I don't think anyone's got a $50,000 bonus, so that's going to be huge. Yeah, and you don't get a lot of points. But every point counts. It's not like there's going to be 50-point gaps because of the way the finals work. Everyone's points are going to be closed up. So, yeah, obviously the Enduros deliver 300 points for each of them. So the Adelaide 500 actually only gives you 125 points for the Saturday and Sunday races, which is interesting. And I think, but it's not as bad as the second and third races at Sydney, which is 120 points for the big races. Obviously Albert Park is one of those rounds where it's like that, but you kind of need to be accumulating some good points just across the weekend. It just helps to be in the top 10. So what's that? 35 points for 10th at Albert Park, and then 15 points for 20th. So yeah, so coming 10th is better than coming 20th twice. So you could have a 10th at DNF and still have scored more points than two 20th places. Round 7 was Townsville. So yeah, so some of these rounds, like the point system, it's just confusing. I like the idea of it being like, oh, the bigger races give you more points, so those are the more important ones. Except now it's confusing. You don't really know how many points you're getting per weekend. It was actually a much easier system to understand. But now it can just sort of be weird. So you can have a bad race in the first one or two. The first two of the sprint of the Super 440 races. But yeah, the point system is confusing. That's a problem. We don't need a confusing point system. All right. Now, where was I? So I was gonna do like a thing where I show the number of race wins and just make a nice little color chart. I thought that'd be a fun thing to do. But maybe not very entertaining for anyone else. Like I would do it just for the fun of it, but I don't think it would help anyone. Actually, it would be good to help come up with some, because there'll be things in there that I'll be like, oh, that happened, and so that would be good. So yeah, I don't know. This season has actually been fairly competitive though, so it's not like it's been the same all the time. It has become increasingly common that Matt Payne's been having a really good year. Whereas, and yeah, even Kai Allen is starting to improve, but I think that Groves might just be like that. And it's not showing QR either, so that's not helping us at all. I do have stuff to talk about actually, so I might as well do that just for entertainment purposes. So I have to get up where is it? My new PowerPoint presentation that I made this week. Very exciting. What is it called? 2025. What the hell is it called? Can't even remember what I called it. Something to do with chassis. I'm gonna talk about Gen 3 chassis and how stupid they are. Oh, it might just be called Gen 3 chassis. No, it's not. Alright. I'm a liar. Into PowerPoint, try and find the damn thing. What are they called? Like current Gen 3 chassis? Oh, Supercars Gen 3 chassis. So why do I call things Supercars when the only time I make a PowerPoint presentation is if it's about Supercars? So, anyway, let's show off the brand new baby. This is a whole topic. So, in 2025, after QR, we have Walkinshaw and Andretti United have been running the same chassis since Gen 3 started. Chaz did debut a new chassis at the start of the year, and then they, I think, was after Darwin switched him into, pulled that one out aside because that's going to be his Supra for next year, or someone's Supra for next year, and put him back into the car that he's won all his races in. Although he did win a race in the new chassis at Taupo. So, yeah. But it's also interesting because, so I've got the picture here. That's Nick Percat in 2023. Ryan Wood's been doing a great job in that car. So it's not like you'll say, oh, there's something wrong with the chassis, because I was reading some of the comments on Speed Cafe, and Percat was complaining about the chassis. And then he's got the same deal about, I think it was because I was looking at the MSR chassis, because they've been building a lot of chassis. I don't know how many they've built, but they built a lot of them. In Gen 3 alone, it's been pretty confusing to look at. And some of these teams, I'm just like, I don't know how many chassis they've got. So, yeah, so Ryan Wood's been driving that same chassis. At the end of the year, that's going to be the end of him driving that chassis. It's been sold to an undisclosed person for an undisclosed amount. And so he's going to have a new chassis, new Supra, or an old chassis, new Supra. He could be driving the 2025 chassis. It doesn't really matter. It's coming out of the same place. But the stupid thing, because I did a video a few years ago about Blanchard Racing Team buying Declan Fraser's chassis from 2023, and I said that's a mistake. You don't want to be doing that, because I know that in Gen 3 they're supposed to be the same, but they're not going to be the same. They're going to be slightly different, and BRT make their own chassis. Everyone assembled their own thing, right? Whether the chassis actually came, I think the chassis came from Pace Innovations for a team like BRT. So actually, I'll scroll down and we'll just talk about BRT for a second. There's the only picture that I had of James Courtney's 2025 chassis, which because it debuted at Townsville. Here's a picture from Townsville, the car exploding. So the one that Aaron Cameron is currently driving is the one that Todd Hazelwood drove in 2023. Aaron Love also drove that car, so it's the same car. They've just managed to make things go better. The way that the Gen 3 chassis thing works is you've got manufacturers. So you've got whoever is approved to build their own chassis. BJR have recently become one. And I think so that the one that Heimgartner's driving is the first new chassis. The first new chassis they've built since 2023. So that's their first BJR chassis. All the other ones are Pace Innovations chassis. So all the Pace Innovations, the way it works is Pace Innovations provide the tubing to every single team, doesn't matter if you're a manufacturer or not. And um, so it's basically come down to who's doing the welds. Pace Innovations doing the welds, then they build you the chassis. WAU, BJR, Team 18, MSR, um, Erebus, Tickford, Triple Eight, Walkinshaw, they're doing their own welds. So that's all it comes down to. It just comes down to welds. Who does the best welds? And so the argument was that Erebus are doing the best welds, but they're not having a great time at the moment. So are chassis all they cracked up to be? It's hard to say. Then you've got all these Erebus chassis rolling around, but Will Davison's here is called DJRS 08. And but it's an Erebus chassis, so why is it called a DJR car? And then you've got it's the same deal with no, I don't know what Courtney's is called, because it's hard to find that kind of information unless you're in the pits looking at the door of a car. Anton De Pasquale's 888 built, originally planned for Will Brown, and was bought by Team 18 because, and here's a story that I found out just doing my homework this week. So yeah, obviously Anton De Pasquale's car is also called Team 18 004, but it's a 888 car, so it's not a Team 18 chassis like Reynolds is. So you've got two arguably minuscule difference cars, but maybe those differences could be bigger based on certain setups of the cars. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, so Will Brown is driving the same car that he drove last year. Brock Feeney is also driving the same car that he drove last year. There was supposed to be a new chassis to be debuted for Will Brown this year, but because of the struggles he's been having this year, or I don't know what the situation is, but they were supposed to give him a new chassis, and it just didn't end up taking place because they obviously sold the one that he was supposed to have to Team 18 for Anton, and so Will just kept this car, and they were saying, yeah, well, we're going to give Will a new car at this point later in the year, and it just hasn't happened. And so I was a bit surprised about that. It just didn't happen. So yeah. So all of this stuff is pretty interesting. So DJR are not driving, and DJR used to be, they were always Pace Innovations chassis people, except for when they had 888 cars back in 2009 to what, 2012, I guess. Yeah, I guess so, because they were struggling financially. So why would they wouldn't build a new car? Pretty sure Dean Fiore brought his car that he'd been running at his own team and brought that to DJR so that DJR could run it. And now I don't know where the car from that Steve Owen was driving in 2012 came from. That might have been a spare chassis, or maybe, yeah, I don't know where they got that from, but it's like kind of insane that in 2012 it was like that. But I suppose if those people are bringing their own car or their own sponsorship, that makes things easier. And then James Moffat at the time was also, he wasn't getting paid. He was bringing his own sponsorship. So his car was fine. They just moved the Jim Beam sponsorship onto Dean Fiore's car, which was his car that he was paying for. And then you've got Steve Owen's car in 2012, which was VIP Pet Foods, Paul Morris car. Yeah, it's a whole thing, whole interesting, a lot of fun facts in supercars. I'll keep going through the list here because it's interesting looking at who's driving what, because I like putting the picture of this is what the car looked like in the year. Um, so Cam Waters has got the same car that he had at the start of last year. Thomas Randall's driving the same car that he started in 2023. Tickford, I think they've still got James Courtney's 23 chassis. Obviously Declan Fraser's was sold to Blanchard's, and then Blanchard's leased it to Triple Eight, and I guess they've still got it, or have they offloaded that as well? Not sure what the situation is. Jack LeBrock and Cooper Murray are driving the brand new chassis. So they debuted at the start of 2024, or that word debuted. So Cooper Murray's got. So I've got the picture here of Todd Hazelwood's car with the number 1 on it. That was controversial. It was like, all right, guys, this is like DJR having number 1 on the side of the car, even though they didn't have the drivers' champion anymore. Oh my god, like that's a little bit crybaby, a little bit. So because Erebus, what do they do? So Brody Kostecki's chassis. Oh, they wanted to retire the champion car. And the one that Will Brown had in 2023 was a write-off because of the damage that got done in Adelaide. And so Kai Allen's driving the same car that Richie Stanaway debuted at the start of last year. And Matt Payne is driving the car that David Reynolds had at the start of 2023 and won all his races in. And that's interesting, right? So you've got a Matt Payne chassis somewhere. And like presumably the one that he drove in 23 and 24, that's just been put aside. This Reynolds one, that was their spare car, and then they brought that back. So yeah, it's really interesting, that stuff. BJR got all the same chassis because they're obviously a low budget team. They're only going to do it if there's enough reason to do it. Having a spare car, because I think Jackson Evans has had a few nasty crashes, so he's driving Heimgartner's 2023 chassis. So they've been in the wars a bit, Brad Jones Racing, and obviously they've also going to put. I think they want one new Supra. I think they said that they're building a chassis for their first Supra. So yeah, what else we got? Okay, so MSR. This was a confusing one to keep track of because Nick Percat's changed chassis a few times. So he started the year. Oh god, here we go. This is getting so complicated. I might even need to make an Excel spreadsheet just for Nick Percat's chassis, because or a PowerPoint presentation just on Percat chassis, because I've got ones for Lowndes and Tanda, and that stuff's interesting. Percat, what did he do? He started the year with a new chassis. And that's so he ran that at Sydney. Then they went to whatever the next round was, Albert Park, put him in a different chassis, which I think was the one that he won his races in. And so he had a good time in that. And I think that's this LeBrock chassis. That's the one that Percat won his races in. But because he was doing so well, they were like, we're going to give you a brand new car. And the brand new car just happens to have issues. So then they've put him back in. What do they do? Oh, it's so confusing, man. It's ridiculous. Percat chassis. Cameron Hill's driving his 2025 chassis at the start of the year. Nothing wrong for him. Percat's just a bit sensitive to chassis. He a poor tradesman blames his tools, or a poor driver blames his car. Premiere, they've actually got. Well, okay. I don't know what the chassis numbers are for Premier, but they are turnkey Triple Eight cars. They just sent their own people to the Triple Eight workshop to finish putting them together. And this whole what teams are Triple A, what teams aren't, and they say, oh, it's a Team 18 car because Team 18 people went to help finish it at Triple Eight, and so they got to put the Team 18 004 plate on it once it was signed off by Supercars as a raceable chassis. But Triple Eight were already chipping away at it across the course of the year. How far along with it they were, who knows? So, yeah. So BRT have got a spare chassis, which was Courtney's, the one I don't know, because they had the wild card in 2023, so they expanded to two cars in late 2023 with the wild card chassis, and then they bought Declan Fraser's car, and the thought was because when BRT expanded to two full-time cars and signed James Courtney and Raymond Lau from Tickford and bought the Tickford chassis, that they would just put all the Tickford stuff in that one entry and that'll be it. But they didn't. I guess they put Courtney in the wildcard chassis and that's what he raced in. And then Raymond Lau ended up leaving because, in the middle of 24 because he just wasn't feeling it. And then they debuted a different car. No, that must have been the same car. It's confusing, which is why I want to be paying my money for V8 Sleuth one day, because they are the guys who who will break it down and explain it. It's crazy. So, yeah, that's chassis for you. It is a time but interesting. You know, and like what it says on the sticker doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is. And it's interesting with the numbers they're putting in. So we've got MSR 006 is, and then you got whatever one Cameron Crick was driving. The one that Cameron Crick was driving at the start of the year at Sydney, that was Percat's, that was this car. That was the Percat car he's driving now, the LeBrock 2023 pole position race wins. That car has been racking up numbers. So Cameron Crick was driving it, and he was just having a wild card time in that car. And then Perca had struggles, and so they weren't running Crick, so they put him in that car. And yeah, it's just crazy. So you got most of the field are either in 23 or 25 chassis. Apart from Team 18, they've been tipping money into chassis, but that's 6 for MSR. Now I don't understand the number system for BJR. Because they're calling him, it's BJR 018, which kind of makes no sense to me. But I think they've been building their own chassis for a while, so they've just decided to carry on their number system in the same sort of way that I think, like Triple Eight have, and Walkinshaw. Oh, and I love I think the V8 Sleuth article was like, this the next, it says something like, so Chaz Mossett's 2025 chassis is called WR029, and the next chassis is destined to be called WR30. And I thought, well, that's obvious. Why would you bother mentioning that? Yeah, it's just funny. What else? But yeah, like 66 Triple Eight chassis. Will Brown Triple 8A 066. I don't know what number the Premier ones are. I would love to know these things, just for shits and giggles. It's not really that important. But what do they call the Courtney car? I bet I guess it's just like, oh, they built the chassis and then Supercars ticked it off. Who's it for? What do you call it? Well, Erebus are like, well, we don't give a shit. And BRT are like, oh, you can call it BRT 03 or 04. That's what they're doing. I don't know what the Tickford chassis are called. I could Google it. We could just do a bit of Googling, a bit of research. That'd be good. So let's crank Google up. Tickford Racing Chassis Gen 3. Tickford, through Pace Innovations, has assembled 5 chassis in the Gen 3 era. Right, let's actually show Firefox. Whee! All right, Tickford builds another new Mustang. That's June this year. 2 more on the queue. Has another previous generation supercars. Okay. So, and when they say a new Mustang, they mean they built brand new cars for Super 2. But like Super 2 should be for old cars, but instead, nope. So we'd like to decommission one, feed a brand new chassis, and hopefully get another 4 or 5 years out of it in Super 2. That's the plan anyway, just extend that program. We think the program is great at the moment. Everyone is doing a great job, so we just want to backfill it with a brand new chassis. What? Why? Like I think they talk about like cracked chassis and things like that, but it's just a bit, I don't know. Surely they would fix that sort of stuff. Like I think Brad Jones has done plenty of videos talking about, oh, we've got this issue with the chassis, so we're going to fix it. So why can't teams just fix that? So hang on, who's this? This is this is Matt Roberts saying all this. Matt Roberts from Tickford. Now we'll race it ourselves, turn into a race winner, and give us some pedigree. Bit different for us because we've got the capabilities of building in-house, building our own chassis. We've got our own machine shop, fab shop, engine shop. When we've got all the capabilities, it obviously reduces our costs, so that helps. Yeah. So because the Tickford's business sort of encourages them to keep things running, they'll do it if the people funding their racing program are happy for them to build a new car. So I think they said Lockie Dalton, something about Dalton. After completing a pristine Super 2 spec Ford for Lockie Dalton in time for the 2025 Dunlop Series, they've committed to replicating it. So yeah, Lockie Dalton's driving a brand new one. The planned rebirth of Super 3. So they're going to revive it for 2027 or 2028, depending on when Gen 3 gets introduced into Super 2. Which is just like, we saw what happened in 2023, right? MW Motorsport couldn't participate. The team they were like the benchmark team. Ever since they got a Nissan, they were the benchmark team. And then as soon as Gen 3 comes along, we can't afford it. They bought, what did they buy? What did J. Botham drive? I think it was a Mustang. Yeah, they had a Mustang for J. Botham, and he had enough money to do that first round at Newcastle, and that was it. That's as far as that team went. They're doing other things. They're not doing Super 2. So, yeah. Next in the pipeline is a fresh brace of chassis for its championship efforts revolving around Cam Waters and Thomas Randall. So I'm going to build two chassis. I'm just gearing up for that. That's the next chapter for Tickford. Now this chassis is finished. Now the fab shop. Put all our focus in the Gen 3 chassis. Tickford through Pace Innovations. Okay, now, and there's also an... This is just complicated. Oops, I clicked on that. I didn't mean to click on it. I meant to open it up in a new tab, but okay. So it shows all the alliances, who built what. So yeah, Tickford, they didn't actually build the chassis. They got delivered it by Pace. Same with Grove. Same with Mattstone Racing, Brad Jones Racing. So they just ring up Pace and say, "Hey, can you get us a new chassis?" Yeah, no worries. Here's the bank details. Boom, chassis. Brad Jones Racing are confident enough in their welding abilities to build their own chassis. And here's confusing. When it comes to Team 18, builder of existing chassis, AAA Race Engineering, latest known alliance, Erebus Motorsport. Except I thought they built their own, or they got delivered chassis. Has supplied to Premier and Team 18. So when they say existing chassis, what does that mean? What about Dave Reynolds' chassis? What about and like we know Anton's chassis is like brand new this year, and they talked about where it came from and what was the whole story of it. Whereas Dave Reynolds, not so much, has supplied to Premier and Team 18, except Premier was a turnkey one. Mattstone Racing, Pace Innovation, so it's just confusing. BJR 019 to be a Supra from scratch. So I think that Team 18's David Reynolds chassis is a Team 18 built chassis. They wanted to build their own chassis because that's what Richard Holloway said that they should do. So that's what they've gone to do. Team 18. Oops. Chassis Gen 3. So yeah, so we know that story. The Switch chassis supplier, while it assembles its own Gen 3 cars, has sourced chassis kits from 888. Yeah, we know that. So they've been assembling the chassis. So it's 2024 Dave Reynolds chassis. Dave Reynolds will head into the Boost Mobile Gold Coast 500 armed with a brand new Gen 3 chassis. Team 18 has been chipping away at assembling a brand new supercar. Is now fast tracking the project in the wake of Reynolds' crash last week at Mount Panorama. Reynolds had been aboard T18001, campaigned in 2023 by Scott Pye, but will move into Team 18003 for Surface Paradise. Yes, we have that information. So 001 was Scott Pye's. 002 was Mark Winterbottom's. The fresh car is alternatively coded 888A067, having derived from 888 as opposed to Pace Innovations, but is being put together by Team 18. So okay. Right. Hang on, what? They had a spare chassis, and then everyone got together and built it. That's what Adrian Burgess said. The fresh car is alternatively coded 888A067. Is this... Okay, hang on. There was a Premier car, right? Hang on. Premier chassis Gen 3. Now, it was later in the year, right? So, yeah, this is the one that Peter Adderton bought. This is the one, right? Then Premier bought it. It was just like their spare car. What happened to it? What happened to that freaking chassis? They got it as a spare because they're like, oh, we need a spare just in case. Brand new complete car from AAA Race Engineering, yes. Do not know what the hell that is. Premier, hang on, I need to put Supercars in that because it will get very confusing otherwise. Did Supercars need a Gen 3 chassis war? Well, it doesn't seem to be an issue, really. Not really. There was a brief moment of hype, and it's passed. People have got Erebus chassis. Doesn't seem to be affecting too much. BRT are doing pretty well with it, but BRT have got two different cars, and both cars are doing fine. So, spare chassis available for Premier after Gold Coast 500 crash. Yeah, so this is we went through that. That's the Peter Shea Bruce one, right? November. Yeah, November. Erebus and Premier explain contrasting Gen 3 methods. Yeah, well, apparently neither of them have got it worked out. I mean, Erebus's problem is they do not have the staff to make that team do its thing. That's its problem. They did have the staff, now they don't. So, where is it? How do I find out what the heck is going on with it? It's so confusing. Yeah, they've got the AAA Alliance. Oh my god. That's a headache. Because I thought Team 18 built their own chassis, or they at least got it from Pace. I don't think they got them from AAA. Alright, new Gen 3 Supercars set for 2024 debut. Oh, that's Mount Gambier. Take a look at all the Gen 3 Supercars that have been built so far. Yeah, well, that's before the people on Reddit complaining about us 2 years ago. All right. Teams are starting with a new car. So, wait. Yeah, okay, I remember this. The start of last year. Yeah, Groves built. Yeah, it's so confusing. DJR, I've been building DJRS 06 for Anton De Pasquale. The S is for Story, for Ryan Story. Blue Oval will represent 5 two-car teams. Tickford, DJR, Penrite, WAU, BRT, yes. MSR and Premier also set to enter 2024 with new cars, with MSR taking delivery of a third chassis late last year. Ambitions of fielding a wildcard in 2024 didn't happen. Will Davison was shifted into DJR's wildcard for the final 2 rounds of the 2023 season, with the team's third chassis debuting at last year's Great Race, 2023's Great Race, by Simona Di Silvestro, Kai Allen. There's Richie's car for the Groves. Oh my god. So Tickford and BRT have 3 cars. Yeah, just driver changes. Not really anything completely clear. I think Triple Eight are trying not to be building new cars all the time because I think Roland Dane said, "What's the point?" Yeah, so Erebus has opted to retire Brody Kostecki's title-winning Camaro, dubbed EMO5, and build new cars for the new champion and his incoming teammate Jack LeBrock. Rip. Triple Eight is also building new cars for Brock Feeney and new signing Will Brown, which they did. His final Erebus Camaro was effectively written off in his Adelaide crash that ironically took out Shane Gisbergen. Yeah, so I think the reason that Triple Eight built 2 new cars was because they lost that Shane Van Gisbergen one. That one was so bad. That's Will Brown saying, "Oh yeah, they just build a new car every year," but I don't think so. All right, well, that's about as much as we're getting with that. Well, where was I going with this? Hang on, we'll find Team 18 chassis. Has they been chipping away at assembling one? Yeah, so Team 18, 2023. T18 004, T18 003. 02 was obviously the one that Frosty drove because 01 was the one that Scott Pye drove. But I wasn't under the impression that Team 18 were delivered Triple Eight cars. So here we are at Auto Action, who do have pretty good. I like the interviews they do. What about the cars? The first season it will race with in-house built supercars, having been racing with FPR, Walkinshaw, and Triple Eight in the past. So they had Team 18, actual Team 18 chassis, right? So why is the one that David Reynolds driving? Why is that a Team 18, a Triple Eight one? That's just confusing, right? Team 18 switching to Erebus. While it assembles its own Gen 3 cars, Team 18 has sourced chassis kits from Triple Eight. This is confusing, dude. This is a whole level of confusion. Because like I said, they've been provided a kit from Triple Eight. What? Triple Eight are just like Triple Eight don't make the tubing, do they? Triple Eight have become an alternative supplier for Gen 3 tubing? I don't think that's true. So it's just confusing as hell. Try and find it. Yeah. Here we go. I don't know. I mean, it's Facebook, honestly. Who knows what information is what? I'm still confused by what is going on with it. Bloody hell. Oh, fuck. Yeah, no. This is getting even more confusing. More people whinging about the Gen 3 car. Fuck. Alright. I'm gonna give up for a second. Hey, man. You've got the Triple Eight book. So the Premier cars are no, so Triple Eight A 59 and 62. Golding's 59. Stanaway will be 62, unless they swapped. All right, thank you. I'm gonna write that down. So yeah, I'll just 059 062. Yeah, I should put my money aside for getting the V8 Sleuth books that have all the chassis numbers. I got Glenn Seaton's book. That one goes into detail about it all. I might give up on diving deep into chassis. It's a whole head fuck, and I've had enough because it's too confusing. From like 21 to 23, it was just like pay supply the tubing. Whoever does the welds is the manufacturer. That's the way I understood it. And then you go, oh, AAA provided their own kit. What do you mean kit? What does kit mean? I'm gonna Supercars chassis Gen 3 kit. What the hell does a kit mean? Erebus and WAU received the chassis kits from Pace this week. So Erebus and WAU are manufacturers, including all the parts required to build a Century chassis. Right, so how come Triple Eight became a freaking completely different supplier? What? Such a head fuck. You know what? Maybe I'll stop and we'll just do some fun stuff. I think I've worn myself out. All right, let's get rid of all of this and okay. I'm done with chassis for now. Let's have fun. All right, so I actually finished watching the 2006 Bathurst 1000, and that was a race that had 10 restarts. But there was also something interesting that I noticed. They had full course yellows, so they'd be under like yellow flag safety car conditions, but they would retain the gaps they had. So when the restart happened, you wouldn't have everybody all piled up and doing dodgy shit and then smacking into one another after the restart. They would just get going again and no one would plow into the back of anyone. They would have an opportunity to go barreling into Griffin's Bend with all the speed they had, but they weren't. There wasn't the carnage. So I don't know what happened, but they got rid of the full course yellow. Then another thing. Oh, here we go. Let's get the ball rolling. So James Courtney's livery at the start of 2006. Now, what the hell did they call it? They called it like a team announcement or something. It was like a whole thing. James Courtney, Stone Brothers, 2006. This fucking thing. Hang on. Open the image in new tab. I'm gonna show it because it's like one of those funky little things. Whee! This bastard was never raced. And James Courtney had like a white suit, like a mostly white suit, which looked a lot like what like Alex Davison's did in 2020. It was just like this is a garbage looking suit. Then they got rid of the livery. They changed the livery, made it into the great looking, the yellow on it. It looked much more menacing. And and put him in the yellow suit, and then boom, then we were rolling. But this is what he started the year with. This is what was in the Adelaide 500 book, and I just struggled to find pictures of it because I thought this is such a cool thing. They made this awesome looking livery. Well, this just the fact that it's just an unraced livery. And yeah, it's, uh, it's not as good as what actually ended up getting raced, but this was one of those fun things. This Milligan's Food Group, who sponsored Mark Winterbottom's 2003 Conacher Championship. So that's cool. What else have we got in here? You can't really see. So they got like the bits of the dash of white they've got on his suit there, but it's not quite the same as the white they had. Now, where is it? So this is what the car looks like, and there's his white suit. I don't know if they got it anywhere else, but yeah, it's cool. Like a white suit, so you don't want that. But oh, here's another picture of probably can't even buy it anymore. But yeah, there's another angle of that car. What else we got? I think that's as good as it gets, I think. Oh, here we go. Yeah, the rookie card, 2006 Stone Brothers Racing rookie card. Someone's selling it for $30. So, wait, it says hat. Why does it say they're selling a hat? There, it's 2006 hat. Or is it not 2006 hat? Who knows? So something else pops up, the driver's card, the rookie card. There's a lot of cool merch we're looking at here. So that's a 2008 Stone Brothers shirt. Vintage. They call it vintage because from 2008. If they think they're going to sell it for more money, they're advertising it for $15. Pick click. That's this website. It's weird. Oh man, this is where I should be spending my money, not on $100 fucking shirt. I should just get old shit. Look at that. It's a fucking signed cap by James Courtney. $35. Bloody hell, man. There's a driver's card of James. I mean, I've already got James Courtney's signature, but that's the idea of having all this crazy looking merch. Somebody signed a mobile hat. Mobile 2010. Radio. What else? There's a lot of merch. James Courtney. James Golding driver card. It's not the one I have. I've got the Subway one from 2022. James Golding. Oh, and I've got this. Oh, Jesus. That's not what I meant to do. I've got this. The Garth Tander and James Moffat driver card because then it had the signatures on it. And also a photo of the cars. I think that maybe that was the signature on that as well. But I was a team member. I got a bunch of cool stuff from that. I liked being a team member. What else we got? Oh, that's a Beyonce model car. I thought it was a falling over car. It was not a falling over car. All right. Let's do something else. Something else. What website is that? Was it PicClick? That was the website. Just for pictures of random stuff, random merch. Yeah. All right. My phone. That's where I have my notes in. Hang on. Oops, fuck. Accidentally pressing things. Can I search some Wink Up stuff? I could try. Hang on, let's have a look. Pick, click. Oh, hang on, no. It's not with a pick, click. There. Alright, let's have a look. I'll show. That was cool. It was cool. I just felt like I was falling into it. I was just like, alright, I need to. Oh, this is eBay apparently. That's what it's doing. Jamie Winkup. Mark Winterbottom autobiography. I forgot he did that. I've got that Supercars Holden versus Ford era book. It is crap. I've got the Mount Panorama book. I have not got that Jamie Winkup book. I have seen it in the state library. Why is it more expensive than the actual autobiography though? Because that's just 1 year. That's just 2010, I think. And the other ones, that's his whole career. Damn. Yeah, this is what pops up when you look up Jamie Winkup. So what's this? Farewell. So 2021, 2013, Decade of Dominance. Oh, that's just 10 years of Triple Eight, right? Is it? Is that what it is? If I click on that, what happens? Yeah, 2003 to 2013. Decade of Dominance poster. That's cool. Ah, I love that. Because they bought the team before the Sandown 500. Paul Radisich and Dean Canto. Paul Radisich and Max Wilson. Craig Lowndes and Steve Ellery. Craig Lowndes and Jamie Winkup. Forever. Swap them and chop them until you find one that's good. That's why Kai Allen and I was watching a bit of Sydney 2025 practice and from this year. I was like, why did they put Kai Allen in? We believe that Richie Stanaway's got the talent. Why didn't they just wait it out? Because they had him going. He started to get good towards the end of the year. They put Kai Allen in, and I thought the real champions, well, actually, not even that. You can't even say that because Jamie Winkup's a real thing. Most champions, you put them in, and they're pretty much immediately showing that they can be really good. I mean, Richie Stanaway did do that, but they weren't happy with it because they're always looking long term. It's just the way they do the thing. But yeah. It's car 88, the better electrical one for June Cup 06. They're all worth a fair bit of money. It's $11 for the 2008 one, Classic Collectibles. So these are all eBay things. That's what it's from. I don't know why, but I guess it's just an easy way of seeing things. All these, that says Amazon. Search Amazon. Right. There's the 05 Bathurst car. Or Sandown and Bathurst car. What else are we looking at? And you've got the book, the Triple Eight book about all the different chassis. I've just got a PowerPoint presentation and an addiction to chassis and talking about V8 Sleuth. What else? 1K06 Bathurst 1000. What is that? Peter Brock Trophy signed. What in the what? What is this? What is this? Some sort of plate. What? It's a book. The race for the Peter Brock Trophy. 1K06. Is this a book just about? Yeah. This is about the 2006 Bathurst 1000. That is literally what it is. Right. Okay. It's amazing what's out there. Some of us just like, what? I mean, there is some really good stuff, though. Jamie Winkup's autobiography. I really want to get it. It costs fucking $14, for God's sake. Why don't I have it? I've got other books that are also very interesting, like Alan Moffat and Neil Crompton, Greg Murphy and Glenn Seaton, but I don't have the $15 autobiography. There's a photo of A couple of legends. Garth Tander, Mark Winterbottom, Jamie Whincup during the Gulf A. Right. 2008. That's from 2008 because of Frosty's suit. That's how I know that. Garth Tander in his HRT clothes. And yeah, that looks good. I like those old photos. So just like the behind the scenes promo shoots. I like that stuff. Is that a buy one get one free? $25 for both of them. That'll be good. What is that? That's a weird looking one. That's a 2017 Red Bull Holden thing. I mean, they only had Red Bull Holden for what, 3 years, 4 years? We've had Red Bull Ampol as long. So that yes. The names of things. What is that? Oh, there's a couple of the Fords. What else we got? There's got to be something in there. 2015 looks like the number one. There's Kate. Is Kate still the most successful chassis of all time, or is that Chastity or Chastity or whatever they call it? I don't know. I think Kate still is, because I think that same chassis won. Hang on, so obviously won the 2011 and 2012 championships. It won the 2012 Bathurst, but also won like a lot of races in those years. Might have been debuted at the end of 2010, or I'm not sure if Whincup had that same chassis throughout the whole of 2010, but I know Lowndes switched a couple of them the same year that Garth Tander also switched chassis. An interesting photo there. Look how young Craig Lowndes looks. 2008, Jamie Whincup and Craig Lowndes. What is that? Is that an actual photo? I think it is. It's just like, yeah, a print and it's been scanned. So that Townsville camo livery. There's a few of those books, the Jamie Whincup, My Championship Year. I think a fair bit happened in 2010 though. They just sort of got unlucky. I made mistakes, and that's what sort of cost them. What's this one? That's cool. Jamie Whincup, 7-time champ, the greatest. So it's his 2021 race suit there. 2000 and what? 2008? I guess 2008 championship to 2021, I guess, because he won his last championship with oh, hang on, with the white underneath it though. Is that? Maybe it's 2017? No, it can't because it's got Holden on the side. No, hang on. I don't know. No, he had like a mostly red race suit. So yeah, those are all his championships. 08, 09, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 4 Bathursts. 3 in a row, and the 2012 one, which was the real one. What else? What in the world is that? That is a what? It's a diorama. Hang on, wait. Jamie Whincup championship winning car, shell. Brand new car dismantled for spare parts. Hang on. It's not a car. You're not buying a whole car. What the fuck is this thing? This is it's like a die-cast model, right? But it's been stripped for parts. Why? Why? Just like, don't break it, doofus. That's just so weird. Sometimes you see like just freaking like things without things. All right, I'm gonna check if it said anything because we're just looking at crazy nonsense. Try to get his diecast from his debut to retirement. One Shane drove it in 21 and 22. Destroyed Winkup's record. Okay, yeah. That pick was 2018. Okay, right. Yeah, I wasn't sure because it was like it had his 2021 race suit, and I was like, "Is that 2018 or is that 2021?" Because I just sort of looked right, and I was looking at the what it had written on it, and it couldn't have been 21. And if it was like Red Bull Ampol, they'd have Ampol written all over the thing. So it's just like, what's going on? Because I had Holden written on it, so it's got to be a Red Bull Holden one, right? So yeah. Yeah, we'll keep looking. This is a fun thing. What else? I mean, I've got close to 500 programs. It's not exciting. It'd be exciting for ones that you don't have. I got 2000 and 2001. I got them off eBay. What was it? eBay? No, it wasn't. It was like Marketplace or Gumtree or something. I paid like $1. And I was like, this is the best thing I have. This is the best thing I have. It cost $1, but it's the best. What else? Do. What in the world does this say? It just says Dahub on that. What the hell? Drive of a lifetime. No, it's crazy that Jamie Winkup is the exception to standards in Supercars, being like the best drivers just jump in and are immediately good. Jamie Winkup in 2002, 2003 was not that good. He was faster than Max Dumsney at Queensland, and Bathurst, but he was a young bloke who just won the Formula Ford Championship. Of course, he's going to be better than a sprint car guy. Then he goes in 2003 and he keeps on making mistakes, and stupid things keep on happening. And then, like, sorry, mate, you're going to have to go find somewhere else. And then he works hard, and then he comes back, and then he starts racking up them numbers and getting really good. And that's why he's the GOAT. What else? It's about 2008. I see a Rick Kelly car. Do I not? I mean, it is Rick Kelly. It is 2008. Okay, yeah. I did notice the Rick Kelly car. I was just like, I got an eye for that Rick Kelly car. Do. More of the Driver Lifetime book. It's a $15 book. I love how people are selling it for different amounts. You just go for the cheap one, no matter. As long as it's got words on the page, that's all I need. I just want to read the words. I don't care if it's got a coffee stain on the front. Some of these things, I love it. Looking at all these old posters. It reminds me of, all right, let's look. Hang on. 2006 Toll HSV DLT. This sort of stuff. Like that, right? It says 07. It is not 07. There's a poster there. When I was a kid, some of these things were just amazing. Like, and you could get like wallpapers for your computer. So these are actual like photos. What is that? Beyonce Twin Set, 2006. Team and driver champions. And obviously 07, right? Did they win the 07 constructors or was that AAA? Or teams? I think they did. confusing because it's not all. All right, hang on. Hang on. Let's get rid of the 06 bit. There we go. Toll HSV dealer team, the historic Toll HSV dealer team. This is the time. This was the time to be alive. You had the best team. It was the best, unbeatable. Actually, it was regularly beatable in 06, but it was unbeatable in 07 because they had Garth Tander and they had Rick Kelly. Rick Kelly was good enough. He was there to pick up the pieces. That's why he won the 06 championship and got lucky. But Garth Tander, that was the one that they needed because that was where it was going to count. Here's Rick Kelly and Paul Dumbrell. Weird looking. Look at that race suit. Rick Kelly's race suit in 08. Oh, and Paul Dumbrell wearing the same colours as he would wear from 2008 till the end of his career, just about. Well, I'll tell you what. He just wore it. No, he was just Autobahn in 08 and 09. And what? Hang on. And then, so he didn't actually wear. He did drive the Autobahn car, I think, in China because of weird licensing rules. Because before 2011, it was just weird rules. The Holden Heroes. I've got it. Hang on. Where is it? I got like a bunch of these posters. The Holden Heroes posters. So that's 06, but I've got a whole bunch of 04 posters from when I was a kid. This was what we had. Look at all these things. Damn. Rod Nash Racing, Wilson Security 2011, Tim Slade, David Reynolds. Look at that. Is that just a card? No, that's an actual poster. What else? Hang on. There's Paul Morris, Steve Owen, Dick Johnson in the backgrounds to help it sell. Barocca. Big day start with Barocca. So I've heard. James Moffat. They've just got Dick Johnson in every single one of them. Oh my god. I'm getting tired. I've only been doing this for like an hour and a half or something, and I'm tired. I would look at Greg Murphy stuff, but the thing is, as a Greg Murphy fan, there's not going to be much that I haven't seen. Toll HSV dealer team existed for 2 years, and it was the best team. So it's just one of those teams that's so much nostalgia. What is this? What is this thing? Price Attack. Heffernan. Back when you just rock up, fit the requirements, and race Bathurst. So 2016 Craig Lowndes. Alright, we're getting deep into the wrong territory. What is this? It's a baby bib. A Shell Falcon baby bib. Oh my god. You love it. Oh shit. Team Dynamic 04. Do I have that one? I don't think I have that one. And 04. So it's Dale Braden and Simon Wills. Yeah. Was it? Hang on. Dale Braid died, didn't he? Dale Braid actually died, I think. Hang on, I swear, Dale Braid. Yeah, Dale Braid died in 2023. I can't remember how he died, but it was like, holy shit, dude. You know? Yeah, I forgot about that. It's a crazy time. So 7 Holden Heroes. Problem is, was being a kid, is I was I just didn't know anything. And so all these things that I find out about, like, I didn't know where to get posters from, and I probably didn't even ask. They just actually, with the '04 ones, it was just like, "We've got a whole bunch of V8 Supercar posters." I have no idea where they came from. Things just appeared. Uh, so all these Holden Hero ones. I didn't realize they just kept it going. I thought they just did it the 1 year. So that's why I've got all these '04 ones. So I've got like Perkins with 3 Castrol drivers. Is that price attack again? Matthew James. Good times. Oh, hang on. Peter Brock and Steve Owen. And when they were allowed to have women on the posters too. The Europe car. Peter Brock, Steve Owen. Who was them? And James Brock. So Peter Brock wasn't driving that one. This is what, '01? Doesn't say what year it was. Problem is with having all these posters, all of my posters are just like there in a bag. I don't have them up anywhere because I don't know how to put them up somewhere. What is that? Bottle Magic Racing, Thomas Mazera, and and John Trimble. Look at that. Look at that. It's like they're just finding out random shit. I don't even know what Bathurst they did. They just had a car and had a truck. Some Team Dynamic things. So road ships. I wish Team Dynamic weren't just like wildly controversial. This '03. The one good year. Actually, no. I think Wills got better and better. Simon Wills is one of those guys that was just like, hang on. Simon Wills came into the sport in 2001 with John Bowe, and he was driving faster than John Bowe, and Bowie was like, "Hey, we don't drive the wheels off the thing," and then he replaced John Bowe, but then he got sacked in the middle of 2002, and then he came in. I think he came in as a replacement for, was it Wayne Gardner or something, and won the Queensland 500 in 2002, and then Team Dynamic happened. Like, wow. And then I think it was after 2005, a whole bunch of other shit went down, mainly because of his involvement, and his family's involvement with Team Dynamic, and all the controversy, the court cases with Tony Longhurst, and then so he didn't compete full time anymore. And when he did come back, he wasn't really race fit. He just sort of replaced Brad Jones for the rest of 2007 because Brad just went, "I've fucking had it. I don't want to drive anymore. I'm done." And so that was the end of it. I think Brad drove with him at Bathurst and Sandown. 2007. Was there Sandown? Yes. 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 Was there? 2007. I don't think there was. There was Sandown. All right. I'm not sure. Came back for 2007, and then that was it. Simon Wills is like another Paul Wheel, except he came in as a racing driver, and then did other stuff and got involved in the team stuff. Paul Wheel was like the interview. Oh, there's a great interview with him and who's the motorbike guy? What is the motocross guy? There's this great interview because he's like 55 now. Paul Wheel interview. This Gypsy Tales. So it's such a hang on. There's a long version, but it's really good. Paul Wheel Gypsy Tales. This one. It's a banger of an interview because he's just like one of those guys who just loves driving stuff. And so they're just talking about heaps of cool stuff. He just talked about how they grew PWR, how he got into racing, how the business evolved. Because if you watch, I think 2000, there was one of those great seasons of Supercars where there was like Paul Wheel, there was freaking John Faulkner had good days as well. All these little privateers popping up, doing a great job. And Paul Wheel was one of these guys. And then they just sort of started falling down the order as the better finance, better run teams started beating them. And then they became Team Brock and PWR, and they had Jason Bright and Greg Murphy, and then it became a very serious operation that needed serious attention, and just wasn't going to get that attention, so they had to throw it away. And they struggled to sell the thing. But yeah, Paul Wheel, good times. So, back to stuff. I'm gonna check if there's anything. So, do. I blessed you with that website. It's great. You can have a whole time with it. MF cheated into the 60. Yes, Rick Kelly did. He bumped him. Jamie Makeup and Lowndes won. The double, yeah, in 07, I remember that. But the other teams were doing championship games. Garth and Rick didn't race together in 07, yeah. Scaife had a surgery, forgot which one, appendix. Yeah, his appendix blew up, so they got Longhurst and Seaton together in the same car. Winterbottom and Richo didn't race together either. Okay. One of the only top two teams to race together was Lowndes and Winkup, so they spanked everyone. Then everyone teamed up together at Bathurst, and they still spanked everyone. But only just won. I mean, 07 was a great race. It was a crazy one. All right. What else? I got a list. I'll check my list. List. Rylan Gray's comments on how hard it is to get into the main game. I don't think seats should just be handed out. You're just watching the end of 2006. What, Bathurst or the championship? Bathurst, the championship, 2006. Phillip Island, yeah. I haven't got up to that bit. I'm up to Tassie, where there's the great line where Mark Scaife, he starts on pole, he bolts away. Actually, no, did he bolt away or no? Garth got the jump on him, so he gets up to his pit stop, and HRT fuck it up, and they put one of the wheels on wrong, and it starts mucking up, and then he goes, you know what? I'm just about over this shit. 2006 should have been his championship. There were like two guys, and you could argue Craig Lowndes, Garth Tander, and Mark Scaife should have been on for the championship, but they had shit go wrong, especially Scafey. What was it? Adelaide, he slipped on the oil, went into turn 8. Something else happened because he had two DNFs, double DNF in Adelaide. He had some round wins at freaking It showed. Hang on. Do. Oh, sorry. Alright. Round wins at Pukekohe and Barbagallo. I think he gets caught up in carnage because he wasn't very good at coming through the field. Solid weekends, racking up some good points, but he was on the comeback. And then Darwin, not so good. Queensland was when he started getting screwed over hard. Because that one was just ridiculous. What was it? He got caught up in he slipped and he tagged Rick Kelly. And they're like, oh yeah, this is they gave him a penalty. And the next one, the car shit itself. Like he won the reverse grid race, and the one after that, the car shit itself. Oran Park was a disaster as well. The car died while he was leading the race. Then he wins a reverse grid race. Then something else stupid happens. I think he gets caught up in some carnage because he starts down the back because of the progressive points. Car dies on him while he's leading at Sandown. Car dies on him at Bathurst and he gets rear-ended by Jack Perkins. I don't know what the fuck happened at Gold Coast, but that's a disaster. Tassie, I've just mentioned what happened in the first one at Tassie, where they screwed up the pit stop if you're 16th. Double DNF for the rest of it. Like, holy shit, could you be more unlucky? Apart from Greg Murphy, who was also wildly unlucky in 2006. It just did not help that they had the cameras on Murphy the entire time. Like, you're just watching his funeral. Like, holy crap. What else? Jason Richards was also very unlucky. Like, Bathurst, he should have been on for a good result. But the freaking fuel flow, the fuel reading on the car started mucking up, and then they ran out of fuel and left it in the pits, and then the car speared off at the chase, and then they bring it in, they fix it up. I think it was a power steering thing, and then they send him back out, and then he crashes a McPhillamy. Holy fuck! That was 06 Bathurst was just nuts. And Cameron McConville and Greg Murphy. Murph was like, yeah, we don't have the car to beat Rick, so we're just happy to be here, really. And McConville was like, yeah, the car's going good, and fingers crossed. And then he slips on some oil because there were some cars dripping oil all over the track, and he's just gone straight in the fence at freaking Skyline. And that was the end of their day. Like, god damn. There was a lot of safety cars in that one. What else? Jason Bright was also unlucky. Where shit just went wrong. And so that's why Frosty came third in the championship, because shit didn't go wrong for him. He either had it or he didn't have it. And that was kind of it, apart from Adelaide, but the shit went wrong for FPR at Adelaide. They kind of put all of their problems into one weekend at Adelaide. But look at that fucking consistency from Garth Tander. Front running pace. Right? So that's why he had the championship lead after QR, because Rick couldn't keep that up because he missed a couple of top 10s there. Lowndes couldn't keep up with that. He had a little mess up there, but then he was good from there. But Garth was like, he'd been running straight from middle of Pukekohe, just smacking up great results. It's just one of the best years, I think. Oh, and I remembered Stone Brothers apparently started building the new kind of chassis, some special kind of chassis for 2006. Where did I find it? They had some weird name for stuff. Stone Brothers 2006 chassis. This is not going to give me information because it's V8 Sleuth. Yeah, I remember it cost like $700 if you wanted to access this information, and it probably is going to cost more. I wish they refurbished the damn website. They did actually, because I listened to the podcast, the V8 Sleuth podcast, so it will be, I should send them an email and say, when are you guys going to finish refurbishing the damn website? But apparently they started building a new kind of chassis. I think they got stuff from Pace as well. They were racing a competitive car when he signed that. Yeah, well, that's why SVG left Stone Brothers. We know this. Oh, hang on. Let's try some. Luke's racing. Because I think they started building new chassis, and so when they started doing that, I guess things were a bit difficult. They just did not have the incredible cars that they had. October 30th, 2005. So after Bathurst, James Courtney signs for SBR. Farewell, Jimmy Stone, and thank you. What? What is this? Falcon Forums 2012. SVG is not the only SBR team. Okay, said Jim Stone retired at the end of 2012. He does help out a bit at MSR these days. All right. Well, I'm not finding it. Okay, what have you said? Hit the wall twice at turn 8. Oh, really? 2 days in a row? Yeah, I think so, yeah. One by himself, one with Murph, yeah. Should have retired in 2007, yeah, but he didn't know. Like, that's the thing about retirement is that you don't know when the right time is until you're like, oh, it's now. Now's the time. Kicked Todd Kelly out because he said he wasn't good enough, but Todd was cooking him the championship almost every year. Yeah, exactly. He actually said that Todd wasn't doing a good enough job. That's crazy. That's insane. Todd was one of the best drivers in the field, driving for the Holden Racing team when it wasn't a team you'd want to drive for. Todd was 4-1 with Scaife head to head. Yeah, 4-1. Oh, 4 wins versus 1 win. Is that what you're talking about? Hang on. 06 to 07. Talking about wins, right? Oh, Scafey got 4 wins in 07. Todd got 3 wins. He had a pretty crap 07 here. What the heck is going on, Todd? I mean, it's 07. It just sort of looks terrible. Oh, I'll show it, but yeah. And even when Todd went to Larry Perkins, when they fell off, he still beat Scape and HRT car. Yeah. Courtney said HRT wanted him to replace Todd. They wanted him to do a year in the DBS. He said, I'm good enough now. So he went to SBR. Got to retire before the time. Yeah. I mean, you don't know, though. This is real life. This isn't like, in retrospect, of course, he should have retired at the end of 2007. Wincup did it just as he was declining. Scaife last beat him in the championship in 2003. Yeah, the Scaife probably was smashing him in '06 as well. Um, he was just actually probably more legitimately Todd beat Scaife in '05. That was probably the more legit head to head. Todd was considered a chance at the championship until shit started going wrong. Um, and Wincup's retirement. I said that in 2021, Winkup retired at the end of that year. I mean, he already announced at the start of the year. He's like, "Yeah, this will be my last year." Um, I I guess he sort of felt like he was maximizing and that he was only going to get worse. Like Jamie is like a smart operator when it comes to shit like that. That's why and you saw it in 2021. He was getting wrecked by SVG. SVG was on another level, smashing everyone. He was going to retire in 2020. Okay. Um, and then how come he didn't? Because Roland Dane said, "How about you do 2021 and then become um the boss?" He only raced 2021 to give Feeney the year to learn. Yeah, but they didn't want to tell Feeney that he had the gig because they needed him to perform. And if you tell him he's got the gig, there's a lot more pressure. Um, yeah, I think it probably had a lot more to do with Roland Dane. I think they said at the start of the year they didn't confirm Feeney. Okay, win the championship and the driver's yours, right? Brock Feeney, 2022. No, hang on. How do we say? It's 2021 Triple Eight Win Cup. Ooh. Whoa, Jesus Christ, I'm getting tired. I just have not had the fucking energy this weekend. This is a lot of stuff about. Hang on, wait. 2021. So in August, they'd replaced him. They'd already announced it. Yes, there's August. I guess that's when they announced it. August 2021. Taking a gamble. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Sign Waters or Mostert? How many years have they got left? Mostert is arguably not quite as good as he used to be because he's getting like Wood is beating him at the moment, and it shouldn't be happening. Yeah, all we're getting is 30th of August. So yeah, they must have come out later or before. But like iconic number livery for Triple Eight Super 2 Young Gun. Like look at all the sponsors on that car. Like everybody was placing their bets on Feeney. Triple Eight were like, yeah, you can drive Craig Lowndes' number, you can drive the Triple Eight number. You got Boost Mobile, Super Cheap Auto, and Red Bull, all just like big companies chucking money on that car, saying this is our guy. Boost Mobile were on his car in 2020, but in 21, everyone was like, yes, this is what we want. The 18-year-old who has been touted as a possible replacement for the retiring Jamie Whincup has now been handed the honour of running Red Bull colours. So before the season even started, they were like, he's going to replace Lowndes. He's going to replace Whincup. The number was initially parked off Lowndes' call time in his full-time career because they said, Roland Lane said, oh yeah, this is Lowndes' number. And now Lowndes has left Triple Eight, or he will be leaving Triple Eight at the end of this year to stay with Chevy. And Team 18 are like, well, we're not going to run Triple Eight, so that's obviously Triple Eight's own number. So, we're going to run some other number. Yeah, of course it'll be Serial. Could you fucking imagine that shit? It's just like, and they've got that picture of him as a kid, in Red Bull clothes. Like, he's young, dude. 12 years ago, he was like 8. So he was 8 or 10 or something. He was a little kid. Ange Mazuris. Ange Mazuris is one of those guys who was like really talented, but no one gave him the support he needed. It was rough. And Triple Eight signed him for some reason. It's just like, what? It's just interesting. Well, I guess because they had Kurt Kostecki and they had Brenton Grove in 2019. Then they ran one car for Ange Mazuris in 2020. Then in 2021, they get another car for Brock Feeney. So interesting stuff. It's not really a risk. It's not as much of a risk as people believe. Hang on, I'm not showing things. Yeah, sorry, dude. To the media, they didn't, but they had expectations for him to win the 2021 championship. Can't see it. Yeah. What support did he need? He had 2 years in Triple Eight machinery. Yeah, he just got to his ceiling. I think because he kept crashing out, right? He always showed that he had speed. Even when he was at MW, he had speed. And I think, is it 2021, Ange Mazuris was at MW in Super 2. Qualified in the front row and would just crash out. And he did it at Triple Eight in 2020, 2021, especially in 21. But it was like, it felt like he didn't get the support for someone to say, it's all right, mate, we know you're good. Don't overextend yourself. And that was his problem. And even in Porsches, he's doing the same thing. It's like, I feel like he's a talented guy that needs proper backing. Otherwise, he's just going to continue spiraling forever and have the money to continue to go racing and have dumb crashes. And people liked him because he was in they did a series in 2021 and he was the guy on the camera talking to everyone in Super 2. I didn't watch it for some reason because I'm just weird like that, but Ange Mazuris is one of those what if questions. He's not just like he was straight shit. He was and there's another guy. Oh, what was his name? Hang on. 2007 Super 2 Championship. Hang on. Fujitsu series. Well, hang on, never mind. It's not going to work properly. I'm going to show the thing as well. He was a mid-tier Super 2 driver. I think some drivers are clearly operating at their peak, and some drivers, they're making mistakes, like a lot of mistakes. Some guys are just slow. Brenton Grove, I think, was operating at his peak. I don't think he was that good. Whereas, yeah, that I think if people are making mistakes, those mistakes can be ironed out. If they're just not fast, then they're not good. But Ange Mazuris was fast. After a year, you've got to learn he's not a kid anymore. 2 years in different categories. Yeah. And being a crash kid. Yeah. Oh, who's the guy? Chris Alajajan. That's who I'm thinking of. Is it 2007? Yeah. So, hang on, we'll find it. I'm not showing the thing again. No matter how much money you got. Yeah, well, he's still there. So, it's just that's how life works. You're not going to go to the main game, that's for sure. Chris Alajajan. 2007 Fujitsu V8 Supercar Series. He came in and won the run race on his debut at Wakefield Park. Then it's like DNF, DNF, DNF. And it's just because he kept getting in stupid crashes. Even though he's clearly good, he just kept getting caught up in the midfield and crashing. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. He just ran out of money and that was the end of it. So, yeah, he got to the development series. And that was the end of it. So he raced in 06. He was involved in Mike Porter's fatal crash. I don't think, was he? Was he actually involved? Ah. He crashed. Chris Alajajan crashed into him. Okay, that's a crazy one. Then we go to 06. Birth. Chris Alajajan. Well down the order. No, he's not. Here he is. He was fast, but not like incredibly great. There's a couple of those guys who drove Nissans that I thought were really good, but Ange Mazuris was definitely one of those guys that like Matt McLean. Matt McLean was one of those what ifs for me. Like I felt like he should have gotten more opportunities, but he didn't have the budget. Yeah, so he was alright there. David Clark. Obviously, David Clark was the one involved with Mark Porter's crash. This is to 6, so add a macro. Ooh. Ooh. No matter how much money you got to make it to the top tier. Yeah. So, yeah, it doesn't matter if you've got the funds to keep you going through multiple seasons. Once people work out you're not quite good enough, they don't want you. Like Zach Best. Zach Best is a good example of that, where he should get a chance because he's good. But, you know, he is getting these opportunities, but he just kind of needs to keep his bum in a seat, and that's how people notice you. The mini challenge. The mini challenge. Is that what you're talking about? The mini challenge? Did Chris Alajajan do the mini challenge? There we go. Runner up in the mini challenge. Won the championship in 2010. There you go. Good job. All right. I didn't know that. I did not do my homework on that. Radio. Yeah, I was just talking about the 2007 Fujitsu series because I was watching it, and it was interesting. You had like Andrew Thompson in a Howard Racing Falcon, and that was like the team to be in. They used to put random MFs in those cars. Yeah, I think Scott McLaughlin did the mini challenge, right? Scott McLaughlin did the mini challenge. Scott McLaughlin mini challenge. I swear he did it. V8 slow, hang on. In their back lane. Let's go on a little different paths of supercars. Instead of spending his first few years out of karts racing, moving up the lower rungs of the ladder, McLaughlin left almost straight into a Stone Brothers supercars at 16. Almost. He had to followed by 2 more in state level Formula Ford rounds. McLaughlin's only open wheel races prior to his IndyCar debut in 2020. And it was in a Holden Gemini, first race car out of karting. That's funny. But yeah, McLaughlin did mini challenge. One of them rolled the car in Tasmania on a warm-up lap. Oh my god. That's like Aaron Love crashing into James Courtney at freaking Sydney. Just like, how does this happen? Oh, they rolled it. You roll a car on a warm-up, you're like furiously steering the thing to warm up the tires, and you're just going, whoops, off the thing goes and tips it over and rolls it. Oh my god. That's good. I want to find that. There's gotta be a YouTube clip. Mini challenge rollover. What the fuck? Hang on. There's a bunch here. This is fucking brilliant. Wait. 2010 Australian mini challenge Magro big crash rollover fence at Queensland. There's a huge one at Townsville here. 2010. Like, how do you just wreck shit at a mini challenge? Tasmania. Not seeing it. Zach Best got unlucky with that wing cut spin 22. Went straight into the wall trying to avoid the crash. Yeah, that was unlucky. Yeah, he was with Thomas Randall in that year. Yeah, he just got unlucky. Yeah. I want to try and find that freaking mini challenge. I don't know if these are the right ones. Maybe this is the right one.
Good evening, spectators have been injured when a race car crashed into a crowd at a track in Queensland. The driver lost control at high speed. The Mini rolled several times and then cartwheeled over a safety barrier. Incredibly, only 2 men and the driver were taken to hospital.
The rearing out of control. Spectators didn't even have time to run. The Mini flew over the protective barrier, smashing the fans.
Just one of those freak things that.
Holy shit, dude.
It was quite terrifying and quite understandably there's a lot of people that are shaken up.
The driver was 23-year-old mango farmer Kane Magro, a Formula Ford and Speedway state champion from North Queensland. He was competing in the Mini Challenge in Ipswich for the first time. His brother John was in the same race.
I went and spoke to him when he was in the medical centre and he had a smile, so he was okay.
Incredibly, Kane was not hurt.
What is he doing a cartwheel in a mini?
They were taken to hospital with minor injuries.
One guy got hit by the fence and the other guy got hit by the rear side of the car. There were some people that actually went over the top of the float completely.
It was in the final lap of the race on turn 6 that
Oh my god.
medical teams were on site immediately.
Oh my god, dude.
He was fitted with a roll cage that no doubt saved his life.
BMW Group takes safety very, very, very seriously. So, we like to ensure that when we're racing, we do it as safely as possible.
John says his brother will brush off the crash and they'll both be back on the track competing soon. Kipper Gardner, 7 News.
Also, by the way, this guy Spevo Max, I watched his Dale Wood video that he put out. It's actually a really good video, just showing Dale Wood being insane. Tasmania Part 1 is the video. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I should turn on Discord in case you've actually sent me something. Alright, let's get that going again. Yeah.
7 ultimate round for this season, and to take you through it, Jack Daniels Racing is Jack Perkins, alongside Aaron and Matt. We've got some guest drivers this weekend. This man is well known, but not for his racing prowess. 3-time AFL Premiership player Jason Ackermanis has joined the challenge this weekend. The Western Bulldogs superstar. He's going to start from last, but he's actually been really, really impressive this weekend. As you said, qualifying was a really good session, really close, and Todd Fiore managed to get home. It was wet, so it was difficult. Neil McFadden is starting from 6th. He's the championship leader. Jason Barguana from 7th. He's on a roll. He's won 8 races in a row. And he's got 50 kilograms of success palace, so he's really up against the park this weekend. Stuart Appleby, 8-time PGA 2. The Uberstar car, so golf and AFL on the final row of the grid. 16 cars for the mini challenge. There's Stuart behind the wheel of the Uberstar car that just about everyone's had a drive of this year. Yeah, it's great to see too. A golfer and an AFL player out here mixing it up shows that they're pretty keen about their racing and their cars. And they've both actually done a pretty good job. Only just 1 second off the pace. Hang on a second. Was that Acker in the background there firing onto the grass? There was a car just taking off right behind Stuart Appleby. I reckon Acker was trying to warm the tyres and has ended up straight onto the infield. What on earth is going on here? He touched the top.
Mate, the road's that way. What are you doing there?
He touched the rear window out. That is really, really strange. He's ended up.
He's done something. He's broken the wing. You're right, mate.
Damage on the rear wing. The car may have even gone over onto its roof. Yeah. It's hard to say what's happened there. Hopefully it's all is well. Maybe just trying to get some tire temperature in the warm-up. Here we go.
Ah. Oh, here we go. Fucking hell. That is good. And he just went off.
Try and get some temperature into the tyres, and unfortunately, it's just bitten in on pretty well the wet grass and the rest of the district. So Jason Ackermanis licks his wounds. The field is delayed for the start. We'll get racing in a mini challenge.
Oh my god. How do you do that? I think he was just like warming him up too much and just fuck. That's why he's just like gone off somehow, working the tires too hard, and just gone off and put the wheel in the wrong spot in the little ditch there. That's the sport's fault, because why the hell are you letting randoms just race? Yeah. Didn't they used to do what was it? Well, I had like a Ford challenge thing just because he played footy before. Yeah. I mean, was he recent at the time? This is what, 2008? 2008. Jason Ackermanis. Aussie Rules football player. 1977. So he was retired by 2008, obviously. I say Aussie Rules, that confuses the hell out of me. AFL 2010. Okay, so he was actually an active member of the Bulldogs before he actually went and drove for me. Okay, so you get celebrity race at the F1. Yeah, but they also did like a Ford challenge where they had like, I swear they had, there was a women's challenge. Ford women's race, Adelaide. Do. What was it? Because they had like, what was Craig Lowndes' first wife called? What was her name? It was like Ford women celebrity race, Adelaide Grand Prix, Australian Grand Prix celebrity race. But I swear there was like, they had like Craig Lowndes' first wife, Lara Lowndes. Well, I thought Lara is his current wife. What was the first one? What was her damn name? Yeah, we'll find it. Craig Lowndes' wife. Natalie Lowndes. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what, hang on. Nat Lowndes. Adelaide celebrity race. I swear she did something like that. Blah, blah, blah. No, maybe it didn't happen. I know something happened. But I can't remember what the hell it was. Yeah, it was Natalie Lowndes, but celebrity. It was like the Adelaide 500 celebrity race. Yeah, here we go. Celebrity challenge. Here we go. I found it. Oops. There we go. Let's watch this shit. Fuck off with those ads. Hang on. I should do it like this so it's actually showing. Look at this. Got some Dick Johnson racing cars. You got a double A motorsport car. Natalie Lowndes, Jill Johnson. Go! Look at this shit. This is the best. You would buy a ticket just for this. Who's that? Some of these girls are actually good though, I think. Jill Johnson, Natalie Lowndes. And yeah, just a whole bunch of random women. Becky Cole, like the singer. Look at this, there's Barry. Tony Cochrane there. Everyone's like, this is gonna be hilarious. Here we go. Come on, hurry up. When does it actually fucking happen? All right, they're about to roll. There's a cat one, a Caltex one, an Aussie male one, Birchek, Haviline. Bloody hell, you love it. Oh. There's Glenn Seaton one, Stephen Ellery one, Brad Jones. What's that? Max Wilson and Tony Longhurst. Who's in the last one? That's the other 00 car, which has got what, Becky Cole in it. Oh my god. Double duties for Stevie J, teaching his mum how to drive a race car. In Crompo's car in 2002. And the boys will be watching this like, what is going on? What is the woman in the cat doing? Just pull it away. Come on, let's see the actual fucking race. Oh. Oh my god. Come on. Alright, stop dicking around. Let's get to it. Go! Oh, come on, Jelly. It's only 5 laps. And now Lowndes has got it. Cool. Whoa! Squirming on the brakes. Chili's doing a good job. Oh! Oof. She had pace. She was going to get him. Oh my god. Flat out through turn 8. Come on, Jelly. Oh. Yeah. Got the headlights turned on. Full beam. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just love these little cars just going that fucking hard. It's just funny. Oh, in the dirt. Run wide. It's a shame they don't have like TV cameras in these cars. They're just like, yeah, paint them up. We'll see everything. You can hear the tires really struggling to hang on. It's nuts. Come on, Jilly. Hmm. Mm. Yeah, doing well. No one else is keeping up. Taking a break in the middle of a 5-lap race. Unbelievable. Let's not have that music. All right. I don't know if I'm going to get pinged for it. Oh, fuck. Bloody hell. She alright? Fuck. Jesus Christ. All good? All good. Bloody hell. Oh, someone else has gone in. Oh, well, they could have had Leanne Tander in this thing. That would have been really good. Leanne Tander, Melinda Price, Karen Brewer. Oh my god. Oh, she's just overcooked it. Yeah. Whoa. Oh shit. Well, hang on. Let's actually see that. And run it in actual fucking slow motion. 0.75 and mute it, and we will see. Here she comes. Dives. Leaves the braking till the absolute last minute. And she's come straight off. And into the tires. Bang! Fuck! Oh, man. Definitely looked like it hit the steering wheel. Yeah. Hmm. Bloody hell. There you go. They got Leanne Tander racing Enduros. Yeah, Paul Cruikshank racing. They used to let anything happen. That's probably why they don't do this anymore. Because of that one accident, maybe. Yeah, Leanne Tander did 09, but she also raced for GRM in 2000 as well. In V8 Lights. That's what they're called. Hang on, 2000 V8 Light series. All right, not 2000. Must have been 2001. Yeah, Leanne Ferrier, GRM. Like legit racing driver, Leanne Tander. Where is she? She did do the full season. 5th. Legitimately good. Yeah. Remained in Australian F3, scoring 4 pole positions, 5 race wins, narrowly missed out on the title to James Winslow. And she was leading the Drivers' Championship. I don't know why that's popping up. That's annoying. I don't even know if you can see that anyway. Yeah, 2009, joined Paul Cruikshank Racing, returned to Super 2, driving a Tander Sport BF. So, Touring Car Masters. Yeah. And then she sort of stopped doing the racing quite as much. Like 2010, yeah, ran it off. But she did come back and won the Formula Ford Championship. I do remember that. Yeah, so like she's not bad. So yeah, I know they're divorced now. Yeah, probably brought the sponsorship. That's why they let her race. Why do we still call her Tander? Because that's what we know her as. Yeah, Leanne Ferrier, whatever. Big deal. She's not a big deal if she's not a Tander. Although she was just Leanne Ferrier when she did 2001 VR Lights or whatever. So yeah, just random. Yeah. All right. Where else? All right. We'll find something else to do. I've probably got more fun things to look at than that. What have we got? So I was looking at, so we worked out who's won the most races, who's the most successful active driver currently, which is Chaz Mostert. So Brock Feeney's probably going to overtake him this year. So what else? I do have a few things. Hang on. If I do have a photo that's sort of like the top Ford versus top. Yeah, so I'll show this. It's insane that he's going to overtake him. Well, I mean, he's driving for 888, so. Alright, I'm going to show my thing that I made. So this is before QR, and actually Wikipedia isn't up to date at the moment. But just looking at, like, in theory, so at the Grand Prix, it looks like there wasn't a Ford that was actually fast enough to win a race. And if there was, it didn't do a good enough job. Brody was 4th. Cam Waters was 6th. Will Davis was 4th in the 3rd race at the Grand Prix. Ford was the fastest at Taupo. Tassie, they were actually reasonably fast. They probably could have come very close to winning the round at Tassie. And this is just like on a parity standpoint. Like we talk about how like it's such a difficult conversation to have about, similar to the chassis. I mean, chassis is just complicated, but in terms of parity about whether a Ford can win certain races and certain tracks and stuff like that. Like Taupo seems to be pretty much a Ford track. Barbagallo is a Ford track, or at least you could say it was. But then, I think Ryan Wood had the pace to be on the podium, and Ryan Wood had the pace to be on the podium. Chaz Monster, they had the pace to be at the front winning races, but they just sort of screwed it up. Darwin, I mean, Grove's got a double podium at the end there, so, but not close enough to Feeney. So it's not like it's a Chev track. But people used to say that Darwin's a Chev track. The Fords are too slow in a straight line. Blah blah blah. Not for these Fords. So, they were saying that in 24, not just 23. Townsville, Fords can win at that track. Yeah, it's just like it is possible for a Ford team to win the championship, but there isn't a Ford team that's as good as Triple Eight, so that's why Triple Eight are going to Ford. But yeah, so we've got Cam Waters, Brody Kostecki, Cam Waters again, Will Davison, Matt Payne, Chaz Monster, Matt Payne, Thomas Randall, Cam Waters, Matt Payne, Ryan Wood, Chaz Mostert, Matt Payne, Cam Waters, Kai Allen, Brody Kostecki, Chaz Mostert. And Chaz is doing a pretty good job. Ryan Wood's only been the best Ford once. So, yeah. It's just Triple Eight versus the field, pretty much. But just in terms of parity, like it is possible for a Ford team to get it right. They just haven't done it. So, yeah, Triple Eight versus the field. It's unfortunate, but we know that Erebus can be up there. They've just gutted their team. They've lost their team. They have to build all their staff back up, but get Barry Ryan back off the tools. Triple Eight will struggle a bit next year. Why? Why will they struggle? Because they're in a Ford? Because the reason that the Ford teams are struggling, 2027 will be back to regular programming. Didn't Triple Eight switch from Ford to Holden in 2010? So you think they'll struggle like that? Is that what you mean? I need to stop things appearing on my screen. Yeah, they'll make more mistakes. Why would they make more mistakes? They've got processes that those things just don't happen. They choked the championship. They choked the championship. What, 2010? They had those processes in 2010. Yeah, but they don't do everything exactly the same as what they did in 2010. They're better than they were in 2010 because of 2010. You've got to look at what they're doing now, where they're making mistakes. You could say that because Will Brown's struggling, he might not do as well with a Ford. New manufacturers a struggle, like engine issues. Yeah, mechanical issues will be more relevant. Yeah. Yeah, well, you don't see more prevalent. Yeah, I think that's what I think. I think that's the way I understood what you said anyway. But Triple Eight aren't really having mechanical issues. And it's not just because they're a Chev team, because Chevs have also been struggling with reliability. It's just Gen 3 machinery is less reliable. Not in terms of speed, in terms of mistakes. In terms of mistakes. Operationally, they've had the same car. Yeah, with the Chev, so they haven't had issues. But when it becomes because it's a different machine, they'll be like, oh, we didn't do it like this. When the other Ford teams have had plenty of time with it. I think they're working pretty hard at the moment. They really want to know. They want to know this car like the back of their hand. They're making their own engine. Yeah. They're becoming, hang on, what are they doing? They're becoming the homologation team and also becoming the engine builder. Think speed a certain way on the foot. It's different. You reckon they're going to have an engine ready for next year? That's going to be difficult. Yeah, well, obviously it's a different kind of engine. They'll struggle and come back to the field. It'll be good. 2026 is going to be a banger season then. Ryan Wood's going to be battling Ryan Wood versus Kai Allen for the championship, and Anton De Pasquale leading the Chevs. Is he top Chev? Hang on. Apart from Anton De Pasquale is top Chev. Apart from Triple Eight this year, 7th. So, and Feeney and Brown aren't Wink Up and Lounge, so they don't have that skill gap to the rest. I think Feeney, hang on, yeah. When they're in the mid pack, I think they do struggle a bit more. It's hard to say though. It's hard to say because everybody's pretty good in the midfield, right? And you're talking about an era where cars were very different from one another. So if you just had a really good car, you could just it's not even. But I've argued against that. And I reckon the cars are still different depending on who built them. Like a Tickford Mustang is still better than a BRT Mustang. So, but Wink Up and Lounge when he'd be seconds faster. Even like 2007. All right, 2007 Wink Up and Lounge. They were just faster. Depends what car you're driving though. Because sometimes people will jump in a different machine and be battling with the best guys. Front runners, I mean, not just them. Yeah. You can't see my pop-ups, can you? I don't think you can. Because I can see the preview of the stream. Tanda will be out the back, race 1. By race 3, they're battling for a win. I think a guy like Garth Tander, depending on how many laps. Gold Coast 2007 retro, he crashed pred-entry. Yeah. Finished out the back. He did win at the Gold Coast 2007 though, didn't he? Race 3, he won. Yeah, progressive grids. There must have been some serious safety cars that weekend because and who wasn't there? That's what Dale Earnhardt used to say. Who wasn't there? Alright, it was the third race. Alright, something happened to Gartander. Hang on, no, wait. Hang on, I'm getting that bit wrong. Hang on, I'm going to show you. Whincup choked. Speed difference was a joke back then. Tander choked. Okay, yep. Let's have a look. So here we are. So he just Garth screwed up on that third race. Whincup had DNF. Todd Kelly DNF. Mark Scaife DNF. I mean, Richo wasn't always terrible though, but yeah, it's like what the world. Mark Winterbottom, Rick Kelly. That was what a crazy race. Stephen Johnson out. I mean, he finished 5th, right? And it's progressive grid, so that means he started 5th. So you got, Tander on pole, Whincup on the front row as well. Then you've got Ingle, Murph in 4th, bloody hell. And then Richo next to Jason Richards. The Tasman cars were running all right. Tander tried to go drive through penalty. Okay, we gotta watch some highlights of 2007 Gold Coast. 2007 V8 Supercars Gold Coast highlights. Only full races. Yeah, there's like a little thing here, 2 minutes 32, but it's gonna be the last race. Yeah. What in the world is that? That looks like a Fujitsu race. Some random person rolled over. It's from the whole race, from the whole round. Whincup got spun by Barguana. That's the race she went down, the last one. Yeah, Whincup got spun by Barguana. Barguana had a trolley train behind him, holding on to 5th. Nice. Go Bargs. Holding on for dear life. And then what happened? Hang on. I'll show this clip that we've got going on here. Ooh. Somebody's put some copyrighted music on or something. I don't know. No, it's Supercars website. I don't know. I don't trust it. Oh, that's bad. Richo, what the fuck? Is that Richo? And then a barrel roll. Or is this no, this is 2012. I want 2007. Yeah, never mind. Flat tire went to the back. Barguana? Or Whincup? I guess Whincup. Yeah. Oh, I'm still getting tired. Bloody hell. Yeah, I don't think we're going to find any highlights. That's a bit annoying. Did they have a sponsorship name of it? Because maybe people used to call things differently. Gold Coast Challenge. Yeah. Bargwana got a flat tire. Wingcup went to the back. Wingcup was actively trying to lose that championship in 07. Yeah. Lexmark Indy 300. Yeah, all right. Lexmark Indy 300 V8s. 2007. All right, and we're finding some Lexmark ink cartridges because why wouldn't you? Okay, this is actually that's just IndyCar. It's just IndyCar. Oh, and some V8s, but it's like people filming stuff. Yeah, it's just like full races. All right, that's not really gonna help. Champ Car World Series. All right, well, we're going down the wrong track. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I did have like a note to talk about Rylan Gray's comments on how hard it is to get into the main game, but there's always a rookie, and Rylan Gray is like the top pick. I don't think there's a guy in Super 2 that's not getting into one of them's getting in. Pretty sure. Here we go. Rylan Gray, Ruben Goodall, Nash Morris, Lockie Doughton, Jackson Wall, Zach Bates. You know, Zach Bates has probably elevated his chances quite a bit since QR. Oh, Brad Vaughan, Ken McLeod, Job Stewart, Jordan Sunny, Campbell Logan, Mason Kelly. So that first one was the Mason Kelly, Jared Hughes one. Bailey Sweeney, Elliot Cleary, Matt Hillier, Cody Gillis. So such a competitive championship. Like Rylan Gray is sort of pulling away. That's a massive points gap there. How has he got 1,011 points? Hang on, I'm not showing stuff. One of the Erebus guys will replace LeBrock, you think? Job Stewart probably. Yeah, well, he's their baby, so. But then where's Jack LeBrock going? Is he going to be RT? Or is he going to go to... I think I saw Supercars Talk said that he's going to Team 18, I think he said. Because money. And David Reynolds is not going to be on the... He said some ridiculous shit. I reckon Reynolds is going to BRT. If he moves, he may not move. He may stay at Team 18. They'll just be happy to keep him. But then I've seen articles suggesting that, this because Team 18 are doing a good job and they're going to be a homologation team, they're going to move someone else who's like better into that team because they're the factory team. So, Cody Gillis had a good weekend. Not realize that. He's got it in him to do a good job, though. Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ, I keep yawning. I might need it. And we've only been going for a little bit. And, so... Yeah, I reckon Rylan Gray's getting picked. I don't know where he's going, but I reckon Rylan Gray's getting picked. Matt Stone. LeBrock to MSR to replace Cameron Hill, who's going to BJR, to replace Bryce Forward, who is going where? Is Bryce Forward going to lose his spot on the grid? Or is he going to BRT? What do you think? And we're assuming that LeBrock stays on the grid. I think LeBrock's probably good enough for next year. But hang on, who's doing better at the moment? LeBrock. Hang on, not LeBrock. Freaking Job Stewart's 11th, and his teammate is Jared Hughes, who is 17th. He scored 2 top 10s. Job Stewart got a podium at the start of the year, and he's had basically 3 top 10s. Oh, you've sent me a thing. Okay. This is the sort of the last place where shit went down. Okay. Alright, well, we will watch that. We will watch that. Come back to MSR. Forward is done. You want to get a good coach, right? Forward's done, but he's doing such a good job. Forward is doing a good job. I think so. Like, just in terms of the championship he's doing, he's at his peak. And he's doing a better job. Whoops, I'm looking at the wrong fucking thing. He's doing a better job than Andre. Andre is scraping at the moment. Apart from Darwin, Townsville wasn't great, and QR wasn't great. Apart from that last race because he got lucky. Bryce did not have a very good one, but Townsville, that top 10 probably helped him. And he's just doing like a little bit better, not like a lot better. So Andre's got 1083 points, and Forward's got 881 points. They're gonna put Cameron Hill in the car, which is such a fucking sidestep. Cameron Hill was an idiot if he's leaving MSR. And he'll prove me wrong, and that'll be fine if he proves me wrong. But I'm still just like, it's ridiculous. So it's too little too late. I keep having things popping up. Andre keeps his seat due to reputation. Yeah, more than anything. But he's still doing a pretty consistent job. He's going to drop out of the finals, though. If Kai Allen has a good the bend and Andre doesn't, Andre's got Decker, right? Kai Allen's got Dale Wood, who's a solid steerer. Randall's got James Moffat, who is good. He was good with LeBrock in 2020. Like, you got to think, don't think about when he was with Mostert and Waters. Think about the times when he wasn't with those guys, which is what LeBrock 2020. They were up there having a good run, and then LeBrock, what happened to him? His foot, something happened, and then. So I think Moff is actually he's a reliable co-driver, so he'll do a good job. Whether Randall can actually get them a car with a good setup is going to be crazy. We just don't know because they haven't been to the bend since 2023, so we don't even know if it's a Ford track anymore. Because so many of these tracks, like SMP 2023, did we do SMP in 23? Don't know. But no, we'll watch the Gold Coast in a bit, but I can't remember. MSR is as good as it'll get for him. Yeah, I don't know why the hell he thinks he's good enough to move up the grid respectively. Like, he won them bootleg AGP races, and he thinks he's better than the team proper. PMO. Probably pissing me off, yeah. Yeah, it's always like, baby bird wants to leave the nest. Like, he's doing a good job at MSR. If MSR can give him the car to do it, then he's on for great results. And he's on for top 10 of the championship. Teammate, but not teammate team, freaking BJR are a one-car team. Obviously, they've got one car that can do the job. And MSR are much more of a team's championship team. Except they've just sort of slipped away. Brad Jones are just a bit more consistent than that. You know what I want to do? I want to do I saw this picture that was really good. It was for Formula One, where it shows what teams are scoring the most points each round, and it gives you an idea of who's doing the best job and who's doing not a good job. So I want to see something like that for Supercars, where it's like, oh, this team were actually like the worst team that weekend. That'd be great to see. I want to make something like that. Probably not going to do it right now. Or maybe I'll try and do it during the week. That'll be cool though. So then you see Groves were the best at Darwin or something. We have a look. Or like Tickford were the best at SMP, and Walkinshaw were the best at Perth. Except not really. It would just be like Triple Eight are the best at a lot of these rounds, but it would just be good to see where the orders stack up, because obviously MSR were like the second best team at the Grand Prix, but they weren't quite doing as well at these other rounds because they just keep on messing things up. I think you got Tassie, where they probably should have done better than they did, but they didn't. It's just not good enough. Whereas BJR are a lot more consistent, and that consistency is why Andre's up the pointy end, potentially going to finish in the top 10 of the championship. And that second car takes a bit of time to get going, but once it gets going, it's almost as good as the first car. Then you've got Macca Jones, who's like the benchmark. If you're not beating Macca Jones, you're not doing a good job. Then you got Jackson Evans, who has strong potential in that car. We saw at QR. He qualified like 12th or something in one of the races. Like, Jackson has got it in spades. That it shouldn't be a question whether he's going to be on the grid next year. It should just be he should just have a contract. Except they're not. They're giving him, oh, we'll think about it, blah blah blah. And every year it's like, oh, we're going to give him a chance. It's like, don't take the piss. This guy's good, right? That seat is funded. Put Jackson in the car. I'll find the. He got unlucky in one of the races, and in the next race he was good again. Jackson Evans, here we go. I'm going to show it. Not Firefox. Put the wrong fucking thing. Excel. Here's Jackson Evans. All right. 15th. Started 15th, drove up to 11th. Started 20th, had DNF. In the third race, started 21st, moved up to 15th. Like, he's doing a good job. Macca Jones was last of the full-timers. Started 14th, dropped to 19th. 14th was as high up as he went, whereas Jackson Evans went as high as 11th. Did a great job. Yeah. And I think that's because I was looking at the points. Except Aaron Cameron did a really good job. I think it's just that first race. That first race where he qualified at 9th and held on to 9th. That was brilliant. That's what you want to see. They're getting good, I think. And then obviously you got like Zach Bates did a pretty good job on the weekend. James Courtney had pace. He was well and truly top 15 all weekend. Except they screwed it up. They put him on wets when they shouldn't have put him on wets. What else we got? Percat. Percat was just nowhere. Top 15, kind of. Should have not screwed himself over. But yeah, sort of top 15. Cameron Crick, he did okay for a wild card. banging on the door of 20th. It's good. Will Davison dragged it up to 10th in the second race, but that was a crazy race. Cameron Hill, he had pace. 10th up to 7th. It's a good job. Second, hang on. Why have I written second up to 16th? That's not right. Second dropped to 16th because that's a drop. They're qualifying in the top 10 in every single race there. What? Or is it 22nd up to 16th? Did I screw that up? Yeah, that must be 22nd up to 16th. I must have forgotten that. He didn't start on the front row. I would have remembered that. Started 8th, dropped to 24th. Like he was in the top, he had top 10 speed, roughly. Bryce Forward. He top 15 pace. Tommy Randall. That Tickford car is a top 15 car. Just inherently, its base speed is top 15 for sure. Randall's not the worst driver in the world. Cam Waters is a very good driver. Reynolds was doing a pretty good job on the weekend. He was able to get it into the top 10. 13th in the weekend. Golding 12th. His best weekend since freaking Tassie. I think last time I streamed, I didn't actually have all this shown. I just sort of went through all my information. I can't remember what I had, but yeah, I've got it all worked out here. I think I did all this during the week. I can't remember. It was a crazy week. Or wasn't a crazy week. It was like oh no, stupid. Never mind. Andre Heimgartner, yeah, top 15 in the second and third races. Good job. Richie had a good weekend. Chaz just had that freaking issue in that first one and then was really good. Well, not even really good. It was good enough in the second and third races, but his teammate was further up ahead. And they keep saying, Brody Kostecki is going to be really good, but he's been like 5th and 6th all year. That's about as good as it gets for him. 5th. His average position is 5th. So he'll come 5th at the Bend and 5th at Bathurst. That's what's going to happen. Fuck off with this stuff. What? Turn off. Ugh. Why have I got things annoying me? Anyway, I am getting very tired. I think I'm gonna have to cut it half an hour short. I know I usually go for like 3.5 hours, but I'm running out of juice and I need a rest. So, yeah, hope you had a good time, dude, and thanks for coming again. And yeah, I'll maybe try and schedule it so it actually shows up for you like earlier in the thing, so it's not a terrible time. So yeah, yeah, catch you next weekend. Oh, hang on, were we gonna watch the freaking 2007 Gold Coast? I think we were. All right, we'll watch 07 Gold Coast. That's 20 minutes. Oh, that's 20 minutes. Yeah, all right. Hang on. We're gonna watch 2007 Gold Coast. I keep getting notifications. It's so annoying. All right. Is this the one? This is the one you sent me, I think. It's the last 4 laps of the third race. Was Richo in the lead? This is Bargs parking the bus. Courtney, Holdsworth. Todd? Or Scaife? Todd. No, Scaife. Oh, wink up on Scaife. Whoa. Oh, he's under attack from Johnson. Frosty down there. Frosty just being consistent, racking up points. Winkup's got pace. Is that Canto? He'll get him. Oh, he's got him so bad. Damn. Oh, he has got pace. Yeah, I also noticed that, Crumpo. Can he carry it through and get JC and Bargs? Oh, I didn't see it was leading. Probably Stephen Richards and Jason Richards. Lingle, Bargs in fourth. Courtney, Canto, Scafie. And I think Winkup got Scafie and also Bargs doing a good job. Huh. Winkup in the lead of the championship. What happened to... Oh, I think he said Tan to shit himself. He's doing a good job, Canto. He talked shit on GRM. He was like, I didn't have a full-time engineer. The mechanic was useless. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God, let rip. Oh, Scafie's out. He's tagged the wall somewhere. Is that what it is? Or has he slapped the wall and... Bloody hell. And now it's died on him. Oof, yeah. Bloody hell. It's interesting. Rob Starr used to be an engineer, and then they made him like a team manager. So I think was he an engineer? Something like that. Oh, sure. Oh no! Bloody hell! No. Well, there goes your championship, J-Dub. Oh. Roland Dane is just like, what the fuck? What? Oh, Bugs has just tagged him. Wow. And under brakes, he's just tagged him. Oh, and then Cantos tagged him. That's actually spun him. God damn. Yeah. Garth getting past him. How did they end up afterwards? Get out of the way, Bags. Fucking hell. The tyres are shot, man. Oh! No shit.
Is now in control of the round points.
Easy money. Why was Richo winning though? Progressive grids, that's why. No. Bloody hell. Good job, Bugs. Fuck. Oh, it was Rick was further down. I'm thinking number 1's Garth for some reason. No, number 16's Garth. Rick's number 1. This Richo's car's looking a bit second-hand there. At the rear bumper hanging off a tiny bit. Jason Richards is like, I need this win. Give me the 888 drive. Well, apparently he refused some better opportunity, possibly better opportunities for 2006 Jason Richards. I think he was rumored, or not even rumored, in consideration for going to HRT at some stage as well. Not that you really want to drive for HRT, but regularly top holding teams. So.
He leads this train, Bobby Will Davison, Mark Warner, Murphy. I don't know that it would be possible for it to be a tougher sequence of events than a 1,000k race at Bathurst. This trip, which always produces damage, and then an overseas race in 2 weeks. Talk about fighting back. FBR have done it.
There we go.
First win of the season and first here on the streets of Surface Paradise.
Good job, Richo. Engel on the hood. What a podium. Richo, JR, and Russell. To Garth Tander. Round win. Yeah. Hmm. There you go. They running calculations. They worked out championship order.
We will put the championship into
Gemador, not Germador. Oh, here we go.
And his dramas. Tanda there, 8, so crucial in terms of the championship because it keeps him in the picture.
DNF.
DNFs for Kanto, Big Cup.
I mean, top 15 only got your points, so. There's a lot of DNFs. Holy shit. What a race. There's Russell. Top 3. Pretty happy.
Yeah, Russell really had to dig deep for all 3 races this weekend.
Here we go. So, because of Win Cup, hang on. Round points after race 3. Alright, so 4th in the round here. But what about overall?
Scoreboard, and in the end, after we were talking about all the onesie-twosies, it ended up Garth Tander by a fair old chunk. Game tennis. Tander, Richards and Ingle on the podium. This is how the champion...
Win Cup is still the leader of the championship. How many rounds were there in 07? I do need to actually wrap this up so I can sleep. No, hang on. So, yeah, round 11, so 3 more. That was the end of it. And yeah, Win Cup in the lead of the championship after Gold Coast was still in the lead of the championship. Oh, because of Oran Park. Fucking Oran Park, man. Ruined everything. Alright. Alright. So I know the end of it, yeah. Win Cup was leading the race, but went up the escape road earlier, so he was much faster than these guys, yeah. You notice Win Cup's list pre-2008. Like any 05 interviews, his list was horrendous. Win Cup completely sold in Bahrain. Didn't score a point. Oh, wow. 14 rounds, by the way. Yeah. Some of those years are just like crazy for the championships. Probably up until 2008. So 2003 to 2007 was a golden time. Win Cup was in the lead at Oran Park, and Jason Richards legit took him out. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up, dude. In race 2 at Oran Park. Yeah, I'll get up to 2007 at some stage. I'm watching Tassie 06, and it's already a time, so it's gonna be great. But yeah, thanks for dropping in again, and yeah, we'll catch you same time next week. Have a good night. Bye bye.